So faith was introduced to me at an early age. I had the opportunity to be raised by two Christian parents, and we were at church anytime the doors were open. And as I grew in my faith and grew in my athletic ability as a person, my dad helped me develop my faith as it related to football, the sport that I played, and showed me that there was a huge opportunity to use my platform that God had given me through sports and through football to impact other people, whether it be younger student athletes or people in the community, because of the spotlight that is placed on athletics in our country. One of my favorite scriptures that I still think about is Matthew 16:26. And what that says is, what does it profit a man if he gain the whole world but forfeit his soul? And what can a man give in exchange for his soul? Because of the level of recruitment and the opportunities that I was able to experience through my football career, that verse helped me keep things in perspective. These rings and the things that we accomplish fade away, but our eternal life and our soul is what's most important. Another one of my favorite passages is the parable of the talents in Matthew. And that was one of the first scriptures that my dad showed me. And that basically just says, whatever talent you've been given, you have a responsibility to develop it to the max and be a good steward of what God's given you. And I always try to work hard and to develop the talents that he gave me, while at the same time keeping Matthew 16:26 in perspective. By the time I was a junior and senior in high school, I had taken official visits to Nebraska, to Florida State, to Arkansas, and it was becoming clear that I had an opportunity to play at the Division I level. And I didn't know if that's what I needed to do, what God was calling me to do, but after a lot of prayer and thinking about it and doing research and listening to people who had been there, I felt like God called me to the University of Arkansas to play football, but more importantly, to take my platform and the influence to impact others for his kingdom. And FCA was a huge venue and opportunity for me, and I could walk into a public school and share my faith and how I was using it in the locker room, on the field, off the field, on campus, because of FCA. It was the door that was open for me. My plan, as I continued to grow as a football player and try to use my impact, was to play in the NFL for 10 years. And I did have the opportunity. Was a 5th round draft pick in 2005. And my vision was, okay, God, you've brought me this far. I'm gonna have a 10 to 15 year career. I'm gonna make plenty of money, but I'm gonna give a lot of it away. I'm gonna glorify you with a foundation. The wheels were just turning as far as what all could happen, but he had a different plan for me. I had played pretty well in the first 2 games of my rookie year in preseason, and I'd noticed some pain in both of my feet, and played one more game, but the pain in my feet was so strong that we got back to Seattle after our 3rd preseason game against Kansas City and couldn't hardly walk. Had to stop in practice after doing a one-on-one pass rush drill, which I had never done before. That evening, I got CT scans on both my feet, and it confirmed that I had stress fractures on both my feet. The next day I come in, meet with the trainer and the head coach, Coach Holmgren, and the trainer said he said he had good news and bad news. The good news was I had made the team. The bad news was I wasn't going to play anymore that year. So it was bittersweet for me. I'd accomplished one of my goals, but on the other hand, I had injuries that I had no idea what they were going to mean for my career. So at that point, I had surgeries, and I did rehab for the next year and a half, and didn't know what was going on, didn't know what God was doing, and didn't really have any idea where my career was going at that point. It took until December of 2006 for me to get healthy and get cleared and be able to play again. Well, that was on a Friday when the doctors cleared me. on that following Tuesday, the team decided to release me. I remember getting that news and going home to see Jamie, and we actually went to Safeway. We were grocery shopping, and I told her in the parking lot of Safeway that we had lost our job. I'd been released and cut from the team and had no idea what the future was going to look like. And so at that point, we took the next year and a half regrouping, training, rehabbing, went out to Arizona and trained at the best place possible, and then had 5 opportunities to make an NFL team over the next year and a half, and went to New York for the Jets, went to Oakland for the Raiders, went to Miami twice, and went to Dallas once. And none of those teams signed me. And after my last tryout in Miami, I felt like God was calling me out of the profession of playing football and into something else. So I had an opportunity to coach football at the high school level at Rogers High School with Coach Peacock, and was able to see the value of Christian coaches and what FCA can do in a young man's life. And now I'm in year 4 of coaching. I'm at Fayetteville High School, and I'm able to participate in an FCA coaches Bible study on Thursday mornings with some of the U of A coaches, Tim Horton, Bobby Allen, Reggie Johnson. Bill Burnett facilitates that, and I've been able to invite some of the Fayetteville High School coaches. And FCA bridges a gap between Christians and non-Christians through sports. And that's what I appreciate and value and love so much about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, is they reach a crowd and they reach a group of people that couldn't be reached, that maybe sometimes wouldn't go to church, but they'd come to an FCA huddle, or they'd come to a coach's Bible study. I know, despite all the changes that I went through, and the frustrations and the confusion that I had after my football playing career was over, I know that God's called me into coaching because of the ministry opportunities that I've been given through FCA, and the chance to impact young men at a critical point in their life and hopefully make a difference for them eternally. And so I'm just very fortunate. I'm grateful. It was hard when I saw that God no longer had me playing football, but big picture, I think He's using me in a way that can glorify Him as much as possible. And I just pray that I would continue to see it like that, and I would grow in my ability to minister to my players, to minister to my coaches, and all that's possible because of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and the platform that God has given me through my football career. My name is Jeb Huckabee. I have a coach, and his name is Jesus.